What is up, everybody? My name is Hector Flores, host of the Insert Name FC podcast, a member of the BellyUpSports Media Network. You can find us on all things podcasting from Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your podcast fix from. You will find the audio version available there. We do have a video version, which is available on BellyUp's YouTube channel. So just go ahead and check out BellyUpSports on YouTube, and you'll find us there. Make sure you guys also subscribe to BellyUpSports' YouTube channel, man. We're trying to make that grow and give you guys an awesome sports platform over there. So make sure you guys go out there and show some love over there to those programs. Also, this full video version of this podcast is also available on GolzTV, GOZ.TV. If you guys want to see what's going on as far as Americans' perspective in this sport, you can find it over there. So go ahead and check it out, man. Also, you can find me on some of the original programming at GolzTV, like Wake Up MLS. Also love the shout out they gave me this past episode where they did their MLS rankings tier list, and thanks for the shout out, guys. And yes, I agree with Honda. I would definitely have put the Houston Dynamo on. We are cooked. So as a matter of fact, we are in fact cooked for this MLS season. But yeah, episode 234 now, I think it is. Yeah, 230, is it? I don't really know. Anyway, it's been a lot of episodes, but it's also been a very long weekend. If you guys remember last episode, I mentioned I was going to El Salvador. Came back and El Salvador, once again, if you guys get a chance to go, please go. It is a beautiful country, amazing people. It's a very attractive country to visit now, especially now that it is one of the safest countries in the world with all the changes that Nayib Bukele has done. I know how some people feel about him. This is not the platform to tell me about it because I don't give a shit. All I know is that now people can walk around the streets in El Salvador without worrying about certain things. So once again, that's my thoughts. But yeah, it was beautiful. The reason why I was there was to go to a wedding, which was a great wedding, a very beautiful ceremony. Got to see a lot of family, which is always great. I wish I got to be there a little longer, and that's only because I think most people will understand for people that are from a different country. When you go there, you tend to have to go see certain people. I think it's also when you go visit anywhere that has family in general. So I don't think this is just a Hispanic thing or a foreigner thing, but you have to go see people. You have to go run the errands that you have to run. And so because of that, that's kind of where what we ended up doing, because we just had very little time, because I would really much have gone to do some exploring, see the country a little bit more, not just where my family's from. I would have loved to go see the other regions of El Salvador. But obviously the main objective of the trip was to go and attend a wedding, and we did, and it was a lot of fun. It was great to see my family again. Once again, it's just always great to spend time with family, and it was genuinely a good time. But yeah, as soon as the wedding was over, we essentially had to go straight to the airport because our flight was at 6 a.m. Don't ask me why our flight was at 6 a.m, because that can go into a massive rabbit hole that might get me in trouble with certain family members.
Whoa. That person has really gotten him or herself into quite a predicament.
So I'm gonna refrain from that. But no, yeah, I mean, yeah, all in all, we got home back to US around 10 a.m, but very much just drained. I didn't even finish the second half of the Texans game. I got Whataburger for lunch. You got a little taste of America, a little taste of Texas. But watched a little bit of the Texans game, and then I just needed to pass out because I literally was running on little to no sleep, because basically the drive to the airport from where my family's from versus the airport, I believe it's maybe 2 to 3 hours. So slept through that drive, and then on the flight I was anticipating to sleep during the flight, but there was a movie that I wanted to see. It's called Bob Trevino Liked It, and anyways, it's an interesting movie. I really wanted to watch it, so initially I just had it on for background noise for me to pass out, but then I ended up just watching the movie. It was actually a really good movie. John Leguizamo is in that movie, but anyways, that's not important. But yeah, so we got into Houston, got some Whataburger because I was massively hungry. Got the Whataburger, went home, ate, and then was watching the Texans game for a bit. Texans won beautifully, by the way, thank you. Even though Baltimore did have a backup quarterback playing, but I'm not complaining. Beggars can't be choosers. Win's a win. And then, yeah, I went to sleep, and I did wake up, but instead of wanting to be productive and maybe type up this podcast up a little bit so it would be easier for me come Monday, because this is when I'm recording it, is on Monday, I basically said no. So I went back to sleep. And also I played a little bit on the PlayStation just because a video game, this game came out that caught my attention. It's actually a Digimon video game. That sounds very nerdy as I said that out loud, but I really love Digimon. It was a big part of my childhood, so I saw it. I was like, let me buy this game. So I bought it, and it was a lot of fun. Also, Blaine, if you're listening to this, I am playing Call of Duty. I did get the Call of Duty. I am playing it. I am playing it. I don't want you to think that you wasted money on me. So if you guys don't know, I won a giveaway for the Call of Duty Black Ops 7 from a live special, that a BellyUpSports special for the Call of Duty League. So also, if you guys are into esports, make sure you guys check it out, man. Morgan Stacy is very much informed in that realm of esports and the Call of Duty League. And so he did his coverage for the Call of Duty League. I believe it was like the World Championships. And I entered a raffle, and I won. And so I won a copy of Call of Duty Black Ops 7. So that is how we got here. I am playing, Blaine. Do not worry. I am very much utilizing the gift. I do love me some Call of Duty. I'm not very good, but I do play some Call of Duty from time to time. Anyways, but yeah, so I played some video games, and then so I was hoping to get everything done. Turns out I had to do some things at home, and it is now 9 o'clock at night, and I'm probably going to be exhausted from work. I'm probably going to be exhausted when I go to work, but hey, it is what it is, man, at this point. I really need to get this episode done, so that's what we're doing here. So, also make sure you guys follow us on social media, Instagram, X, Facebook, at InsertNameFC. Also, InsertNameFC does also have a YouTube channel. Make sure you guys go ahead and check it out as well over there at InsertNameFC. And so yeah, this episode, it's U.S. men's national team. This is really, like I said, I didn't get much time to really find any headlines. There was no real headlines that I really wanted to talk about anyways. So that worked out. And we are going into the international break, so U.S. men's national team roster is what we're going to be discussing this episode. We do have players of the week. We have games to watch for this coming weekend. It is decision day in MLS, so we'll have some matches to highlight there from MLS, even though we are going through international call-ups as well. So we do have some games for the international window, which I extended all the way till Tuesday, just because there's not many games that are being highlighted for Saturday and Sunday. So there's that, and then we'll end this show in a pretty low bow. So I'm expecting this to not be a long episode. I'm expecting it, just because of just the lack of preparation that I put into it. I apologize, but I think I unfortunately just didn't have given myself the ample amount of time to make this right. But anyways, it will still be a good episode. I think obviously talking about the U.S. men's national team is always a good time. So we'll do that. So with all that being said, we're going to take a break and then go right into the U.S. men's national team call-up and their friendlies for this October window. Let me tell you guys about BellyUpSports. BellyUpSports is the internet sports bar. Go ahead and check out their website, www.bellyupsports.com, to read some great articles from great writers all across the country, from hockey, baseball, golf, soccer, you name it. BellyUpSports is the premier, not your average website. All right, guys. U.S. men's national team. The October call-ups is this weekend, so we're gonna kick things off with a match. The first friendly is gonna be October 10th in Q2 Stadium in Austin, Texas. They will be taking on Ecuador. Also, just so you guys have a frame of reference. I don't know why I can't say certain words today. CONMEBOL qualifiers are done, so you're going to see a lot more friendlies with South American teams, I believe, being that their qualifiers have been completed. But yeah, so USA will be playing against Ecuador. Ecuador, I think a lot of people have said a lot of good things. They're kind of, in some sense, going through a golden generation of players. So they are going to be a really interesting team. I believe they also qualify for the World Cup. So let me just double check for teams that are qualified for the World Cup. But I do confidently say that Ecuador is in it. Let's see, World Cup This is great podcasting, by the way. This just amplifies, proves that how unprepared I came into this. But World Cup talk, by the way, it's been interesting just because of the fact that like it's been getting more and more kind of. A lot of people feeling the need to say certain things of like how I guess this country being as like a spotlight for it. I don't really want to go in too deep with it because I just don't want to, and I really don't care to. But obviously, there's been a lot of concerns from people, and I totally get it. But once again, at the end of the day, the World Cup is here. I know that there was some dumb talks between that Donald Trump was saying that if he needs to, he'll move the locations of World Cup matches, that's not fucking happening. Like once the World Cup committee has gone through their process of finding who's going to be the host cities, those host cities are still going to be the host cities. Like at this point, we've gone too far for it to change. So like Donald Trump is not going to. Can't change anything from that in that aspect. So I just want to make that abundantly clear. So, but yeah. So CONMEBOL, and yes, Ecuador is one of the countries that is being represented for CONMEBOL. So like I said, but yeah, so they're a team that's also in preparation for the World Cup. So a really good matchup for a team that really wants to make sure that their group is also good in a good place. This game will be also part of the Hispanic Heritage Month. If you guys don't know, here in the U.S. in September, the month of September is kind of Hispanic Heritage Month, and obviously they didn't do it. I guess why wouldn't they? They did have September call-ups. I don't know why they didn't just do it then. But anyways, and obviously it's fitting that they do it in Austin, Texas. But yeah, so that's gonna be their Hispanic Heritage Month. Yeah. I think it's cool. I'm not, it sounds like I'm kind of brushing it off, but like it's just like, I don't know. I just feel like it's late at this point. Like you could have not mentioned that it was going to be your Hispanic Heritage Month game, mainly because it's international. You guys don't really. It's like you guys play when you play, but it's fine, perfectly fine, anyways. But and then. On the 14th, October 14th, there will be a match. The last match of the friendlies for this cycle, for this month, will be USA taking on Australia, which that would be in Commerce City, Colorado, in Dick's Sporting Goods Park, which is a really interesting one because this will be the first time playing since 2017. And they're going to be going up against Australia, which is the 24th ranked nation right now. Australia is already qualified, so once again, another team that's doing their due diligence to make sure they have the right team for their national team. But yeah, so all these games will be available on TNT, HBO Max, Universo, and Peacock. Obviously Telemundo, if you guys didn't know what Universo was. So the the game against Ecuador, October 10th. It'll be at 7:30 p.m. Central Time. And then the match against Australia, which is the 14th, in Colorado, it'll be played 7 p.m. Central Time once again. And that'll be once again, you can watch them all on TNT, HBO Max, Universo, and Peacock. Those where you can watch these friendlies. I think Ecuador is in the top 25. Yeah, so I don't know why I didn't mention that in this like U.S. men's national team thing. But yeah, it's against two top 25 opponents in the world. Both teams are qualified for the World Cup. So it's going to be really interesting how you respond to teams that are also in their preparation. Now, Pochettino did make it abundantly clear that this call-up will be more closer to what we should be expecting for the World Cup. And I think a lot of people that had like a lot of backlash for the September call-ups was mainly because of the fact that you didn't see many of the guys that were European that play on the European leagues, at least majority of them. Obviously, with the exception of Christian Pulisic, but I still think that there were some players that were still recovering from injuries. There was guys that were in new clubs, so I think you kind of gave them the pass to like just not have to be called up. But there was some head scratchers, and there were some players that I'm not sure specifically defensively I wasn't a fan of, but yeah, like I mean, Pochettino did state that the next call up, this call up would feature the guys that will more than likely be in the 2026 FIFA World Cup. Hey guys, this is Hector from the Insert Name FC podcast, here to tell you guys about Canadips. It is a great tasting, superior alternative to traditional dip using CBD in a way that is radical, enjoyable, and effective. It comes in 5 core flavors: wintergreen, mint, citrus, mango, and American spice. Canadips CBD is the new evolution in dip, allowing guys to enjoy great, long-lasting taste without the downsides. If you guys want to go ahead and try them out, use the code BellyUp20 at CanadipsCBD.com. Once again, BellyUp20 at CanadipsCBD.com, and you'll get yourself 20% off your purchase. Thank you again for Canadips for being a great partner of BellyUpSports. So we'll start things off with goalkeepers. At goalkeepers, we have Chris Brady of the Chicago Fire, Matt Freese of New York City FC, Patrick Schulte of Columbus Crew, Matt Turner of the New England Revolution. I find this a bit interesting only because, like, Patrick Schulte, obviously with Columbus Crew, I guess Columbus feels fine with letting him go, being that I guess Columbus is in a good position for the playoffs, and I mean, you could say the same thing for Matt Freese, and even Chris Brady. But I think for people that are just like, do we just not have any European base American goalkeepers? There is some. I just don't think that they're ready, or they're just not good enough to versus the MLS guys. And I think it's mainly because the MLS guys are playing. I mean, I have no real gripes with this group. Chris Brady is obviously a very promising goalkeeper for the US. Patrick Schulte, a guy that has been featured a lot and discussed about a lot. Matt Turner, I think, once again, is going to be in the conversation for quite some time, and now he's back in New England. Can that be a good thing for him? Probably not, because now they're going into an off season, so I don't know what's going to happen for him. You know, like, is his loan going to be pulled off from Lyon? Is Lyon willing to do that? Or, you know, there's so many questions for him. But I mean, I think all of this is just a moot point, because at the end of the day, I do think Matt Freese has done enough to get both starts. I wouldn't be surprised if Poch does end up maybe putting in Matt Turner or Patrick Schulte in for the second game or one of these games. But I still think Matt Freese has proven to be at least the goalkeeper for right now, until someone can really step up and make a name for themselves. I think Matt Freese has did a great job in the Gold Cup, and I think that he has definitely continued that. You can say what you want about the South Korea game. I don't think it was most of it was on him. But I think that it was essentially still like Matt Freese, I think right now is our best option at goalkeeper. I can't really tell you anybody else that I would put over him right now. Yeah, so I think as for what he brings to the table, I'm not saying that Matt Freese is elite. I'm really not, but I think at this point he is our top option, and that's not a bad thing either. So I'm fine with it. Like I said, this isn't me complaining that we don't have many options goalkeeper, because I think Matt Freese has done enough and obviously he already secured a new contract with New York City FC, which, take that with a grain of salt, guys. It doesn't guarantee that he's staying put. Like, if anything, that just maybe increase some sort of value if a team from Europe wants to go ahead and get Matt Freese. It is very much a possibility. It's not out of the rule. It's not out of the idea. But as far as goalkeepers go, yeah, I mean, I have no complaints for this group. I mean, the only complaint is just we just don't have many good goalkeepers, just to be fair. But I think all in all, it's not that bad. Defenders, we have Max Arsene from the Columbus Crew, Cameron Carter-Vickers from Celtic, Alex Freeman from Orlando City, Mark McKenzie from FC Toulouse, Tim Ream from Charlotte FC, Chris Richards from Crystal Palace, Anthony Robinson from Fulham, and Miles Robinson from FC Cincinnati for some fucking odd reason. Sorry for cussing, Kelsey. We need to move on from Miles Robinson, man. I've been saying that for the longest. And I get it. It's fair. It's fair to say who do we put over, and I'm gonna keep beating it like a dead horse. Cameron Carter-Vickers, Austin Trusty, I think are guys that deserve to get a look. But at the end of the day, I mean, as far as guys that I know confidently are going to play, Chris Richards, Mark McKenzie. And I mean, Tim Ream is not a bad shot either. Fullbacks, they're guys I expected. Max Arsene, Alex Freeman, I'm actually kind of a little bit surprised, but I'm not really against it all too much. But Tim Ream's there. Not Tim Ream. Anthony Robinson's there. No Sergino Dest, which I'm kind of curious. Did he get injured or something? Or is Poch fine? That's interesting. That's where I'm kind of intrigued by Sergino Dest. Let me see. What happens to Sergino Dest? Yeah. Yeah, I have no idea. He just didn't get called up. I don't know if he's dealing with an injury or something. No, nothing. That is very, very interesante. Oh, he doesn't really post much on social media, but that's weird. Okay. I don't know what to do with that, but all right. So Sergino Dest isn't available. I don't know if he's maybe dealing with an injury or something, but I mean, I guess we'll probably end up seeing Alex Freeman. Because this is the interesting part with me, is because we did get introduced to that 3 in the back formation, the past call up. I mean, we've seen Pochettino use that 3 in the back formation. I wonder if he plans on using it again, because that would be interesting to see. Obviously, Anthony Robinson would be an ideal version, an ideal person to have as a wingback. But we'll see what happens there, man. But yeah, I think honestly, you could brought back Tristan Blackman. I would much rather have Tristan Blackman than Miles Robinson. And I could just be talking out of my ass at this point. Sorry for cussing, Kelsey. I just think we need to move on from Miles Robinson. That's a spot right there that we could have had another option, whether it would have been another center back. I think it is hilarious though that there is no Joe Scally, and if you guys don't know, at least the rumor is that Pochettino did not like that in the last call up that Joe Scally was in. I guess he went to go play golf and then was doing donuts with a golf cart. So essentially the rumor is that Joe Scally is in his doghouse, which is insane when you think about it, just because of the fact that Joe Scally is one of our better fullback options and is potentially capable of playing as a center back as well. So if you were to play with a 3 in the back, that does give you an athletic center back right there. to pair off with Chris Richards or Tim Ream or even Mark McKenzie. So that would have been so that's like an interesting story. If it's true, it is hilarious. If it's not true, it's still pretty hilarious that that's even what's been brought up to anyone's attention. But yeah, so those are the defenders. Besides Miles Robinson, I really don't have like a real complaint. I think a lot of people want to shit on Max Arfson. Sorry for cussing Kelsey, but I think as a wingback, he wouldn't really be a bad idea. Like I think it's very clear that he's a winger. And it's shocking when you say that when he plays winger for Columbus Crew, but I think him as a wingback does open up better opportunities. And I will say though, like as much as people want to give gripes as like some of the defensive errors that he did have in the Gold Cup, he did redeem himself eventually in the match. So I don't think that. Once again, it's interesting that he's willing to play as a left back, as just willing to play fullback in general, especially for someone that's been playing as a winger professionally. But I mean, it shows you that this kid is very, willing. He's willing to do what it takes to play for his national team. Am I saying he's great? No, but I think off the bench he can definitely provide a burst of energy. I think he has been impactful in the attack in plenty of times, so I don't think that there's anything wrong with the idea of Max Arfson. I think him as a wingback might be really good for him, just because once again he does have instincts of a winger, but defensively, of course, he needs to work on that. But I think if we do this 3 in the back formation, he's going to be an option for that left wing back spot or right wing back spot, depending on what they want to do with him. But, Anthony Robinson's here, so he's very much, if there is going to be a left back, it's going to be him starting, at least in my opinion. But yeah, so I really have no issues with any of these guys. I'm glad Mark McKenzie's in here. That's what I will say for that one. For midfielders, we have Brendan Aronson from Leeds United, which, I mean, I think it's a good call. Diego Luna from Real Salt Lake, Weston McKennie from Juventus, Aiden Morans from Middlesbrough. I am so happy he's here. Christian Roldan from Seattle Sounders for some fucking odd weird reason. I mean, apparently he likes him. Apparently Pochettino likes Christian Roldan from what he saw in the last call-up. So he could be those guys on the fringe. James Sands from FC St. Pauli, Tanner Tessman from Olympique Lyon, Malik Tillman from Bayer Leverkusen. Yeah, there's some, obviously no Tyler Adams, but you bring in Aiden Morris. I do believe Johnny Cardoso is currently dealing with an injury, and I would probably say he's definitely one of our better sixes. Unfortunately, he just doesn't play well for the U.S. James Sands, I think, is a really good option. I think he's been playing pretty well for St. Pauli as well. Tanner Tessman also has been playing very well in Olympique Lyon. Malik Tillman, obviously, he did just move to Bayer Leverkusen, so I understand why they let him not play for the U.S. men's national team in the September call-up, but now he's here. And I think it's going to be interesting to see what Pochettino, how he utilizes Malik Tillman, especially from what he was able to do in the Gold Cup, because I think he really improved his stock from the Gold Cup, and I kind of can't wait to see what he does with more, I guess, a majority of the actual guys you expect to see on the U.S. men's national team. But yeah, Diego Luna's here. I think he's a guy that Pochettino will like. I think he's once again a fringe player coming off the bench, could be a good option for the U.S. men's national team. And I think we know the chemistry that he has with Malik Tillman. So I think that this is a good call up as well. If I had to complain, I mean, it's Christian Roldan. I'm not that high on Christian Roldan. I don't think he should be called up. I think Christian Roldan should make the switch to El Salvador, if you ask me, because I just don't know why he keeps getting called up. I don't know what Poch sees in him, but I guess he sees that he's tenacious, and I wouldn't be shocked if he gets called up, especially now. So, but we'll see what happens, man. I'm glad Weston McKennie's back. I think he does change a lot for the team, especially when it comes to being intense and tenacious at critical moments. So I definitely think that that's going to be important. I can't wait how to utilize this Tanner Tessman. I hope to see Aiden Morris out there on the field. Same thing with James. I think the options are really good, especially, once again, how this formation is going to look like. If we use the 3 in the back, I think, it's going to be interesting to see how this formation looks. And once again, Malik Tillman could play on the wing as well. So that is also that option as well. In the forwards, we have Patrick Agerman from Derby County. We have Folarin Balogun from Monaco. Christian Pulisic from AC Milan, who currently has 80 caps, by the way. Tim Weah from Marseille. Haji Wright from Coventry City. And Alex Zendejas of Globe America. Once again, I'm happy that Alex Zendejas is here. I think he got a lot of respect from Pochettino. I think he showcased that he is hungry and he is honestly a spark off the bench, which is what I like him as. I like that he is that spark coming out of the bench. I think that he is very aggressive. That comes from just playing for so long in Liga MX. He's really good at just being physical. And I think when you talk about CONCACAF ready guys, that Alex Zendejas should have been there for the Gold Cup. I understand the circumstances, guys. I understand that America was competing against LAFC for a shot to go to the Club World Cup. But then when the second he didn't they didn't qualify, if I was Pochettino, I would have been calling him, hey, you want to come play for the U.S. men's national team for the Gold Cup. I think he would have been a game changer. In my opinion, he would have been a game changer. That's just my opinion. But obviously, I think Balogun is proven to be the guy at the 9th spot for right now. And it's clear because Josh Sargent isn't here. Look, I love Josh Sargent, and I hope that he keeps balling out, and he keeps putting himself in the conversation for the forward spot. But if he's just not performing in the U.S. shirt, he's just not going to perform. Ricardo Pepi, I'm kind of intrigued as to why he didn't get called up. I'm guessing just because of the injury, and then also I don't really know if he's been starting as much. So I think that's probably another factor. But Balogun, I think he's doing a good job. I think at this point you can probably put him as the outright striker right now for the U.S. men's national team. Patrick Agerman is here. I think that once again he didn't get called up mainly because of new club situation. But Haji Wright's here. I like him. He's a good option as a 9 and also potentially as a winger as well. So I think this is a pretty good. I mean, I have no complaints with the forwards. Honestly, this is not a bad call. Mine is just one or two players that I feel like, and I think I've already stated who they are. I really have no complaints. I think maybe we should have probably not called up 4 goalkeepers. Maybe just have 3, and then that could have opened up for another midfielder or another forward. Maybe more specifically a midfielder.
Righteous Felon Craft Jerky is the official jerky of BellyUpSports. For over a decade, Righteous Felon Craft Jerky has led the American meat snack revolution by concocting delicious, adventurous, U.S.-sourced jerky recipes for uncompromising carnivores across the country. With 15 different flavors to choose from, Righteous Felon has all jerky lovers covered, and by using promo code BELLYUP, you will get 15% off your purchase at RighteousFelon.com. Do your taste buds a favor today and rip into a bag of Righteous Felon jerky.
But all in all, there's not really guys that I'm complaining that I feel like we're missing out. I mean, besides Cameron Carter-Vickers or Austin Trusty. Midfield, I mean, I really don't know what happened with Tyler Adams. Maybe he's dealing with an injury or something. I know for a fact Johnny Cordell is dealing with an injury. But there's not like a midfielder out here that I'm like, oh damn man, we should have brought him in. I think this is a very fair group of players, man. I don't think that. I mean, I would have loved to see Ricardo Pepi. I would have loved to see Sergino Dez. I don't know what happened there as well. So I mean, all in all, it's not a bad line call up. I think that there's clearly a starting 11, whether you do use the 3 in the back formation or whether you use the 4-3-3 or the 4-2-3-1 formation. Like clearly there's something there. So I think that it's not really a bad shout. Yeah, I think that it's a perfectly fine group. For the people that are probably complaining about Patrick Agerman, I'll say it like this. I understand the idea of Patrick Agerman. Like me and Edward, we talked it plenty of times, man. It's just something about a fast, big physical presence up front, kind of like Josie Altidore, where it just seemed like the concept of Patrick Achiman. I get it. The player, maybe. I think the thing is he's still kind of figuring out how to play his role. He has been performing with Derby County, so he did score a goal this past week. So I think that like it's not and once again, clearly Pochettino likes him. Pochettino sees something in him that he feels like this guy has the tools to make it as a 9. Now, are we going to finally get to see it one day? We'll know. Who knows? But we'll see how that all transpires. Yeah, like, I mean, if I had to, I guess, do a lineup myself, I would say, well, I mean, Matt Freese, he's going to be starting goalkeeper. The only thing is, I just don't know what we're doing with the back four. If we're going to do a back four or a back three, I would say if it is a back three, it could be a back line of Chris Richard. Oh, Cameron Carter Vickers. Oh, I'm stupid. I literally was complaining that there's no Cameron Carter Vickers this whole time, and Cameron Carter Vickers. This is okay. Anyways, I'm not redoing this. But yeah, Cameron Carter. I just did a whole. Okay, well, you could have brought in Austin Trust. That's all I'm saying. But Cameron Carter Vickers is here, so I mean, the back three could very much be Cameron Carter Vickers, Chris Richards, maybe Anthony Robinson. Like, kind of. No, I'm not gonna say that. So I'm gonna say Cameron Carter Vickers, Mark McKenzie. Cameron Carter Vickers, Chris Richards, and Tim Ream. I think that's what we'll have. I think Tim Ream's left foot does come in handy at times, so I think I wouldn't be surprised to see that. I think if it's a back four with two center backs, I think it'll probably be Chris Richards. I wouldn't be shocked if it's Chris Richards, Tim Ream, but I would prefer Cameron Carter Vickers and Chris Richards. That would be my piece. But left back, right back, if we do have it, obviously Anthony Robinson at left back. At right back, it's probably by default Chris Richards. Not Chris Richards, Alex Freeman. At the right back spot, and then Max Harveston coming off the bench. But that's if we do a back three or a back four. Midfielders, once again, sticking to if we're doing the back three, that means that it'll be a 3, I guess like a 3-4-3 formation. Wait. Yeah, 3-4. It would probably be a 3-4-3 formation. So 2 center midfielders. Wait, are we? Three. Yeah, no. It would be a 3-4-3. So if it was a 4-2-3-1 formation, I do think we're gonna see like I would say Weston McKennie and Tanner Tessman, and then Malik Tillman being in that 10 role. That would be the 3 midfielders, right? In the I guess 3-4-3 formation, I would actually say. No, it would still be Alex Freeman. No, actually, if it was a 3-4-3, this is where it's weird. But I would say it would be Anthony Robinson on the left and then Tim Way on the right. And if that's the case. And then I guess you could say in the 2, it would be Weston McKennie and Tanner Tessman. Yeah, Weston McKennie and Tanner Tessman. And then the forwards, if we did, no. And then the forwards, if we're doing the 1, that would be Florian Balogun. If we're doing the 3 for the 3-4-3 formation, it would be obviously. Wait. Wingers would be obviously Christian Pulisic and Tim Weah. If it's a 3-4-3 formation, it'd be obviously once again Christian Pulisic, Florian Balogun, and Malik Tillman. Because I mean, yeah, that would be. I think at least that's how in my head it sounds like we'll see what it all transpires, because this was a lot of thinking. I should have probably stuck with one formation, just went with that. But you know what, we did that. But yeah, that is the U.S. men's national team. Once again, guys, October 10th will be Dude, Jesus fuck, I can't say. Sorry for cussing, guys. Can't say words right now. October 10th at Austin at 7:30 Central Time on TNT, True TV, HBO Max, Universal, and Peacock. And then October 14th against Australia in Colorado. It'll be at 7 p.m. Central Time, live on TNT, HBO Max, Universal, and Peacock. So I'm going to be very much interested in these matchups and how they all transpire, and I can't wait for that, man. So that is U.S. men's national team, guys. All right, we're going to go ahead and take a break and then go right into Players of the Week.
I love soccer, Peggy.
All right, guys. Players of the Week is brought to you by SeatGeek. SeatGeek is an amazing app to get all your tickets for live events when it comes to sporting events all the way to concerts. SeatGeek has you covered. Me and I will use it very frequently for a lot of our live events that we attend, and we love its convenience. It has a very simple grading system using colors and numbers. If it's really low and super red, it's not a great deal. Keep scrolling through the app. You're going to find something better. If it is really a high number with a very green color, that means for these seats, for this event, for that price, you're getting a great deal. Go ahead and enjoy your event right now. We love simplicity of SeatGeek, and if you're not sold just yet, for first-time users, with exceptions, you save $20 off your first purchase if you use the code BellyUpSports at checkout. Once again, BellyUpSports at checkout, you'll save $20 off your first purchase at SeatGeek. SeatGeek, life's an event. We have the tickets. All right, my player of the week is Kylian Mbappe, who had a goal and assist in Real Madrid's 3-1 win versus Villarreal. And once again, guys, I know Vinny scored 2 goals, and I do love Vinny, and I do have a lot of respect for Vinny, but he did score a pen. And so Mbappe did score a goal and an assist. One of those assists was to Vinicius Jr. So that's who's getting my player of the week from. Now, Edwards' player of the week is Anjan Boni, who had a goal and 2 assists in Inter Milan's 4-1 win against Cremonese, who ended Cremonese's undefeated streak in the Serie A. So congratulations once again to Kylian Mbappe and Anjan Boni for being our players of the week. Once again, guys, you go to SeatGeek.com, use that code BellyUpSports for first-time users. Save $20 off your first purchase. SeatGeek, life's an event. We have the tickets. All right, guys, games to watch this weekend. So we will go into the MLS. It is, I believe, decision day. I'm going to double check to make sure it is, in fact, decision day, because if not, then I'm talking out of my ass. I don't think it actually is now that I think about it. It is not decision day. Decision day will be next week. That's what's happening. So I was wrong about the whole decision day. So we have makeup games. We have makeup games which are going to be very important to how things will go on decision day. So these are all MLS games because these are the makeup games. So we have Orlando versus Vancouver. We have Seattle Sounders versus Real Salt Lake, LA Galaxy versus FC Dallas, and Austin FC versus LAFC. These have playoff implications. These could change the settings for the table as we go into decision day. So it's going to be very important that these matches, how they transpire, and it could either improve or worsen some teams' odds in going into the MLS Cup playoffs. All right, Thursday. This is where it kicks off for the international break. We have England versus Wales, Honduras versus Costa Rica, Czechia or Czech Republic taking on Croatia, and Scotland versus Greece. On Friday, USA versus Ecuador, Japan versus Paraguay, South Korea versus Brazil, Russia versus Iran, Canada versus Australia, Argentina versus Venezuela, Curacao versus Jamaica, El Salvador versus Panama, and Iceland versus Ukraine. Now, no games Saturday, Sunday. Monday, Uzbekistan, which is now managed by Fabio Cannavaro, taking on Uruguay. And then Costa Rica versus Nicaragua, and Wales versus Belgium. On Tuesday, USA versus Australia, Japan versus Brazil, Colombia versus Canada, Mexico versus Ecuador, Iran versus Chile, Curacao versus Trinidad and Tobago, El Salvador versus Guatemala, Italy versus Israel, Turkey versus Georgia, Saudi Arabia versus Iraq, and Algeria versus Uganda. Now, there are all that's going on in this international break. We do have friendlies. We do have World Cup qualifiers specifically in Africa, Asia, and Europe still. So there are still a lot of, and CONCACAF, and that there's still a lot of implications left before we get to the final group of teams that will be going into the 2026 FIFA World Cup. So very important matches. Like I said, these aren't all the matches that are being played this weekend, but if you guys want a good to maybe keep an eye on, well, I think I gave you guys some pretty interesting matches to check out. So that is all the matches. We'll go ahead and take one more break, and then we'll wrap this show up in a pretty little bow, or at least sort of.
Hey everyone, it's Ryan from No Credentials Required to talk to you about one of our newest partners at BellyUpSports, SeatGeek. Yeah, live sports is great on television, but the feeling of being at the arena is a priceless experience. That's why our friends at SeatGeek are there to help you find the best tickets at the best prices. Not only can you get tickets to sporting events, but you can also get tickets to concerts, comedy shows, musicals, and more. Search for your desired event now at SeatGeek.com, enter promo code BellyUpSports at checkout, and you save $20 off your first purchase. SeatGeek. Life's an event. We have the tickets.
All right, guys, want to give you guys a shout out to BellyUpSports. Check them out, BellyUpSports.com. Follow all the stuff that's going on over there, man. It is super, super busy. We got NFL, college football. We have MLB postseason. We are in the thick of it right now in the MLB playoffs. Unfortunately, the Houston Nationals were not in that category. We also have hockey. Hockey is back. So if you guys are big into NHL, or you guys want to get to know a little bit about NHL, go ahead and check it out over there at BellyUpSports.com. Check them out on X or Instagram and Instagram, X and Instagram at BellyUpSports. So BellyUpSports, the internet sports bar, man. Go ahead and check them out. Show them some love. Also, GolzTV, GolzTV. Check out their website. It is free to subscribe right now. Make sure you guys go ahead and get into that service, especially if you guys want all the content made here in the USA of soccer. So, if you want soccer to be cool in America, go ahead and check out GolzTV, man. I agree with everything that Jose Tejas is doing, and I love this venture, and I'm really glad to be a part of it, man. So, check out GolzTV. You can see Insert Name FC's content there, as well as see me on some of their original programming. So go ahead and check it out. Check them out on the X at Goals_TV, at Goals_TV, or on, and I don't know why I keep saying or, and on Instagram at Goals.tv, GOZ.TV, at Goals.TV, to see what's going on there with Goals, especially if you want to see Wake Up MLS or, Unleash with Eric Winalda. Lots of great content there. A lot of USL content as well, especially if you want to get into the USL stuff. And of course, we can't end this without Roosevelt Spencer. He is the namesake of the Roosevelt Spencer Player of the Year award. We love Spencer so much. He gives us some great beats. And you know, he works hard for us, and we want to always show our appreciation for him. And you should too. So if you guys need some beat work done, because to be honest, especially if you're trying to get into the podcast game, if you're trying to get into YouTube, or you're maybe an aspiring musical artist, having your own original beats makes a whole big of a difference. So if you guys like the beats that you hear on this podcast, well, they're all made by Roosevelt Spencer himself. So with all that being said, man, follow him on Instagram at ThatGuyDope. Once again, at ThatGuyDope. Check him out. Send him a message. Say the guys from Insert Name FC has sent us over to you, and he will take great care of you like he always does with us. Because I'll be honest with you, that copyright strike kind of fucking sucks. Sorry for cussing, Kelsey. But it is honestly the truth. So, what are you waiting for? Go ahead and check him out and give him some love. And tell him we sent you, so he knows for sure. But alright, guys, that is this episode. Thank you so much for listening. Catch us next week. Edward will be back, and we will be talking about something. Take care, guys.